Jerusalem, a city steeped in history, has captivated hearts and minds for millennia. Nestled among the Judean hills, its story begins long before recorded time. Archaeological evidence whispers of a Bronze Age settlement, a gateway between the Mediterranean coast and the Dead Sea. The Jebusites, a Canaanite tribe, were its early masters. They fortified the city, making it a prize to be coveted. Yet it was King David, the legendary ruler of Israel, who would forever alter Jerusalem's destiny. Around 1000 BCE, David conquered the city and declared it his capital. This strategic masterstroke unified the Israelite tribes and transformed Jerusalem into a symbol of power and faith. A new era had begun, one that would echo through the corridors of time. Few cities on earth hold such profound religious significance as Jerusalem. For Jews, it is the city of David, the eternal capital promised by God. Here, King Solomon built the first temple, a magnificent edifice that housed the Ark of the Covenant, a sacred chest containing the Ten Commandments. Centuries later, Jesus of Nazareth, a Jewish preacher, walked the streets of Jerusalem. He taught in the temple, healed the sick, and ultimately faced his crucifixion outside the city walls. For Christians, Jerusalem became the Holy Sepulchre, the site of Christ's death and resurrection. In the 7th century CE, Islam emerged as a powerful force in the region. Muslims believed that the Prophet Muhammad, on his journey from Mecca, ascended to heaven from a sacred rock in Jerusalem. This site, known as the Noble Sanctuary to Muslims and the Temple Mount to Jews, became Islam's third holiest place, after Mecca and Medina. After King Solomon's reign, the kingdom split. Jerusalem remained the capital of the southern kingdom of Judah. However, its strategic location attracted the attention of powerful empires. In 586 BCE, Nebuchadnezzar II, the Babylonian king, besieged Jerusalem. The city fell, the temple was destroyed, and many Jews were exiled to Babylon. This traumatic event, known as the Babylonian exile, left an enduring mark on Jewish consciousness. The Persians, under Cyrus the Great, conquered Babylon and allowed the exiled Jews to return to Jerusalem. The Second Temple was built, but Jerusalem would never regain its former independence. Alexander the Great's empire absorbed the city, followed by the Ptolemaic dynasty of Egypt. Finally, in 63 BCE, the Roman general Pompey the Great marched into Jerusalem. Roman rule, though often brutal, brought a period of relative stability and prosperity to the city. The Babylonian exile stands as a pivotal moment in Jewish history. The destruction of the First Temple and the forced relocation of its people to a foreign land tested their faith and resolve. Yet, even in exile, the Jewish community maintained its identity and yearned for a return to Zion, a poetic name for Jerusalem. The Persian conquest of Babylon brought about a dramatic change in their fortunes. Cyrus the Great, in a remarkable act of tolerance, allowed the exiled Jews to return to their homeland and rebuild their temple. This act of compassion earned him the title of Messiah in the Hebrew Bible. The return to Jerusalem was not without its challenges. The city lay in ruins, and the surrounding communities viewed the returning exiles with suspicion. Nevertheless, the Jews rebuilt their temple and rekindled the flame of their faith, proving the indomitable spirit of a people determined to survive and thrive in their ancestral land. Section 5: Crusades, Clash of Civilizations. The medieval era witnessed a series of religious wars known as the Crusades. Fueled by religious fervor and political ambition, European Christian armies marched east to wrest control of the Holy Land, including Jerusalem, from Muslim rule. In 1099, the First Crusade culminated in a bloody conquest of Jerusalem. Christian forces, driven by religious zeal, massacred thousands of Muslim and Jewish inhabitants. This act of barbarity shocked the Islamic world and sowed the seeds of bitterness that would linger for centuries. Over the next 2 centuries, Jerusalem changed hands repeatedly as Crusaders and Muslim forces clashed in a bitter struggle for control. The city witnessed periods of both Christian and Muslim rule, each leaving their mark on its architecture, culture, and religious landscape. Section 6: Ottoman rule, a time of tolerance and tension. In 1516, the Ottoman Empire, under Sultan Selim I, conquered Jerusalem. The Ottomans, known for their administrative efficiency and relative religious tolerance, brought a period of stability to the city. Suleiman the Magnificent, Selim's successor, fortified Jerusalem with impressive walls, many of which still stand today. Under Ottoman rule, Jews, Christians, and Muslims lived in a complex tapestry of coexistence and tension. Each community had its own quarters, religious leaders, and legal systems. The Ottomans, while generally tolerant, often played one group against another to maintain control. However, as European powers encroached on the declining Ottoman Empire, tensions resurfaced. The rivalry between the great powers for influence in the region, coupled with rising nationalism among the Jewish, Christian, and Muslim communities, set the stage for the tumultuous events of the 20th century. Section 7, British Mandate and the birth of Israel's seeds of conflict. Following World War I, the Ottoman Empire collapsed and the British took control of Palestine, including Jerusalem. Under a League of Nations mandate, the British faced the daunting task of balancing the aspirations of the Jewish and Arab populations, each with deep historical and religious claims to the land. The Zionist movement, which advocated for a Jewish homeland in Palestine, gained momentum after the horrors of the Holocaust. Jewish immigration to Palestine increased dramatically, leading to friction with the Arab population. In 1947, the United Nations voted to partition Palestine into two states, one Jewish and one Arab, with Jerusalem under international control. The plan was rejected by Arab leaders and civil war erupted. In 1948, Israel declared independence, triggering a wider Arab-Israeli war. Section 8, a divided city, Jerusalem in the 20th century. The 1948 Arab-Israeli War resulted in a tragic division of Jerusalem. Israel controlled the western part of the city, while Jordan occupied the eastern sector, including the Old City. This division had a profound impact on the city's inhabitants, separating families and communities. For 19 years, Jerusalem remained a divided city, a microcosm of the larger Arab-Israeli conflict. The Western Wall, Judaism's holiest site, lay tantalizingly close to Jewish worshippers, but inaccessible behind concrete barriers. In 1967, Israel captured East Jerusalem during the Six-Day War. The reunification of the city was a watershed moment, but it also reignited the debate over its future. Section 9, Jerusalem today, a fragile peace, an uncertain future. Today, Jerusalem remains a city of profound religious, cultural, and political significance. It is a city where ancient history and modern life intertwine, where the echoes of empires resonate through the ages. Israel claims the whole city as its unified capital, while Palestinians aspire to establish East Jerusalem as the capital of a future Palestinian state. The international community, for the most part, does not recognize Israel's claim to the entirety of Jerusalem. Jerusalem's future remains uncertain. The city continues to grapple with the complexities of its past, the weight of its history, and the hopes and aspirations of its diverse inhabitants. Finding a lasting solution for Jerusalem, one that respects the claims and rights of all, remains one of the most challenging and important tasks facing the world today.